Hey, what's going on, John? What are you guys doing today? Dave, how are you doing? I'm down to need in about 3 hours. I'm sure I'm probably over that, but YouTube analytics is always a few days behind. So I want to shoot tomorrow. So I need to load some ammo. I have that press Lee sent me sitting on the floor. I got to drill a hole in a bench and put some bolts through it. I don't have any bolts that are going to fit it, so when my wife gets home, I'm going to make her go get me some hardware and we'll get that mounted up. Until then, I prefer to deprime on a single stage. I don't like depriming and priming on a press. I've never liked it. So I usually deprime everything on a single stage. I'll prime it and then I'll run them through the progressive press. So that's where I'm at. Scoot. So I need to load about 400 rounds. If my wife is back before I'm ready to go any further, I'll mount that new press and I'll use that. If she's not, then I will work through what I have. But what are you guys doing today? What kind of gun you want to see tomorrow for for IDPA? My options are Glocks or CZs like an SP01. I could run my Glock 34 or my Glock 17. I think my kid's going to be shooting the Glock 44. I could shoot my daughter Shadow System. She's not going to be shooting with us tomorrow. I could run in Specialty Division, which would let me use a USPSA gun. Or I could shoot PCC. Them are my options. Installing additional cabinets. That's all right. I don't know, man. Have you seen my cunt? I mean, if you guys are gonna try to troll, you gotta be more original than stupid shit like that. It makes you look sad. Gage still has plenty of ammo loaded, so I don't have to load for him. I just gotta load for me. I don't have any 9mm miner loaded for myself. I could shoot my daughter's gun, like I said, not have to load. But I'm kind of tossed up between shooting her Shadow System and shooting that MP5 clone. I don't know which one of the two I want to shoot yet. If I shoot the MP5 clone, I got to run iron sights because I haven't put an optic on there, unless I get done in a couple hours. Then I can run out there and sight something in. I'm not going to show you feet, but if you go to Ammo Alchemist's site and tell him you were on my page, he will send you feet pics. He's got all kinds of them. He's kind of a sexy motherfucker. He does his toenails and shit. So if you want feet pics, you got to go to Ammo Alchemist or Below Average Utah Dad. He's another one that likes to send feet pics. He's sexy though, man. He does it in butter. So John, what's big with you for today? I am just depriming some 9mm brass. I want to shoot a pistol match tomorrow, or pistol caliber carbine, depending on what we get nominations for. But I got a load of ammo for me. I was originally going to shoot my open class gun and just shoot specialty division, but I'm half debating on the idea of shooting the Wisconsin State pistol match for IDPA. So if I do that, I better practice in some IDPA. John, how are you doing today? Why are you depressed, John? But John Wick, I'm doing good. I want to shoot that pistol match tomorrow. So I got to load some ammo for me for it. My daughter went to a birthday party today. So she's not going to shoot tomorrow. But my son, he was supposed to help his brother work on his Camaro tomorrow. And he went today. So him and I are going to go shoot this match tomorrow. So I have to load some ammo for me. I got plenty of ammo loaded for them, but everything I shoot's major. Unless I shoot my daughter's shadow systems. So you have to put a new primer in. My other press, I can do it all in on one press. I deprime, size, reprime. But more times than not, either primer's going upside down or they kick sideways, or it just makes a whole big mess. And when, especially in the Dillon, when something goes goofy, that's when you miss the powder station. You end up with a squib, or you end up not advancing, you end up double charging a cartridge. So my own peace of mind, I stopped depriming and priming on a press a long time ago. It makes sense for a lot of people with new cartridges. Like if I was running the Starline, I'll do it on there. But sometimes, like depending on what you have for mixed brass, you'll end up with brass that's got a military crimp on it, or the primer pockets are a little out of spec. So it's a lot more time consuming, but I feel better about doing it that way. Osama bin Laden. I can't show any guns right now because I don't have anything sitting out. If you want to see guns, man, check out the lives. I guarantee there's shit in there that you'll be like, God damn, that boy's got some cool shit. But right now, I'm a basement dweller. Try to get out like maybe 200 or 300 rounds real quick, and then I'll probably jump on a live later, show some guns. So like, comment, subscribe. And subscribe to everybody else. So I still don't know, like for my videos or shorts, where my hours are. I won't know that yet for a few days. But with my live hours, not factoring any of that stuff in, I'm about 3 or 4 hours short. So if I can do this for a couple hours, I'll have the time. I have my TV going upstairs on another channel, so just being down here, I'll end up with enough time. So midweek, I'll have to do my payment info, my tax paperwork for YouTube, and then at some point I'll have to cash out and start getting paid. 50-50 on reloads. No, it depends on how well you're, or how it, if you're focused and paying attention. So like I said, the majority of squibs or bad cartridges I've ever had was from priming on the press. So I can handle getting squibs for me. I try hard to avoid it for my kids. But I said sometimes in the progressive presses, the primer will go in half sideways, or they end up upside down, or they don't go in smoothly, so you bump the handle a little bit and you either skip the powder station or you double charge a cartridge. On the Dillon, I have a powder check die, so it'll beep at me if there's not enough powder in it, but I've gotten in the habit of doing it this way, so I do it this way. That Lee press that's sitting on the floor next to me, I don't have a powder check die that'll work for that. I could probably take, that's a 40 case. I could probably take the one off the Dillon, but I'm not going to take it off from the bench right here to move it over here when I'm not going to keep using it. I have a tracking number for the part from Dillon to fix that one, but it still hasn't shipped. It's been a couple weeks. I don't know if it's a back order thing or what exactly is going on with them, but I do have the press that Lee sent me, so I got to get that installed at some point and do a review on it. My son came over here the other day, and he was looking at it, and he asked, well, since this one here over here is a piece of shit, and I'd actually given him that one, and I made him bring it back over when the Dillon broke, he asked if he was going to get this Lee. And I don't know, I might give it to him, and we might just set it up on one of the portable stands that they make, and I might just let Gage have that. Or if not necessarily let him have it, but at least leave it set up so he can load his own ammo. Because that would be so much better. Just say, hey, dude, go load your own ammo. If the press is set up, he would just have to pull the handle. So, John, you didn't answer. Why are you depressed today? What's going on? Just kind of one of them days, kind of gloomy? My son Gage and Harley both had their official belt ceremonies. So he's been a second degree black belt. I mean, technically today's the first day, but he's been a second degree for the last 9 months. And same with my daughter. So when they advance in their belts this place, they make them learn all the forms and techniques, and they don't advance them or award their actual belt until they have it perfect. But he was past first degree and was working at the second degree stuff. Same with my daughter. She was past black belt and working at her first degree forms. So now they have the official belt. He is officially a second degree. She's officially a first degree. And now he'll start working on his third degree forms. My daughter's done. She doesn't want to do any more karate. She said maybe in the fall, but she kind of wants the time off. Hey man, my heart goes out to Elon too. I love that guy. I love that guy. He's awesome. I'm just depriming some brass. I'm gonna prime some brass here when I'm done with this, and hopefully my wife is home. I can send her to the parts store or the hardware store, grab me some bolts, and I'll mount up this new press and we'll check it out. If she's not, or if she has shit to do, I'll just run a couple 100 rounds on this other press, but nothing big. So I want to shoot a IDPA pistol match tomorrow. I don't have any ammunition loaded for me, so I gotta load some ammo if I want to shoot that match. What do you mean they're taking the views away? Because that's not really that uncommon. They do that. They say they don't, but they do. Dropping shit all over. Yeah. It's funny, like when I get videos that take off, I'll be watching it. It'll be like, say, one view, and it'll jump up. you know, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and you'll be refreshing it, and then it'll drop back down to 2 views, and it'll go up to like 100 views, and it'll drop down to like 20 views. So I don't know if it actually works out or not, but just know you're not the only one they do it to. And how are you doing today? I'm good. Dropping shit all over. I gotta do some rifle rounds too at some point. We'll wait for the press. I got a whole big box here, all primed, sized, trimmed, ready to go. So there's, I don't know, about 500 rounds there. And I have another 500 sitting over here. I'm waiting for that part for the Dillon to crank them out. It goes a whole lot faster. I could do 1,000 rounds in about an hour after the setup, or conversion from 9 to 223. All right, Ann, I appreciate you stopping and hanging out. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know how much shooting you've done over winter, but I can tell you, I definitely wasn't on point last weekend when I went out and practiced. My natural point of aim was off. During the match, I had a lot of Charlies, a lot of Alpha Charlies. I'm not going to get upset with myself, and you shouldn't get upset with yourself, because if you haven't been out shooting, it's springtime, man. People in like the Southwest, they have the opportunities to shoot year round. In my climate, we don't. Previous to this year, we had indoor ranges we could shoot matches at, and they sold the places this last year. So other than paying for the lane to go and shoot, we weren't really able to shoot much over winter. Not like you need to. I shot a bunch of rifle with my sons a few weeks back, but we didn't shoot much for pistol. I have a bunch of 40 mixed in with this brass we took out. My oldest has my Tactical Sport Orange 2 and 40 cal. The 9mm I have here, but he was with us a few weeks ago when we were shooting, so he shot that 40 some. I think, obviously not tomorrow, but the following week, we're supposed to shoot Steel Challenge. I'm thinking he's going to come. He's supposed to be shooting the 9mm for Steel Challenge because it's 9mm and it's cheaper for me to reload for it. He doesn't pay for his ammo and he doesn't pay for his match fees, which is, I mean, that's my doing. I'd rather him come and shoot with us than not be able to because he doesn't have the money. It's a shithole. It's such a mess down here. I wish I had a bigger basement. So I have an old house. I gotta watch where I stand up because I'll hit my head like this duck. If I don't kind of half duck, I'll smack myself in the forehead. Then there's the main beam that goes through the house here on the basement, and I'll wrap my head on that too. But the rest of it's all right. My little work area over there, that's trashed. That's nicer. I have a small vault down here, and that takes up a lot of room. But my wife and I, we split the basement. That's her mess over there. This is my mess over here. I don't go on her side. She sure the fuck don't go on mine. And I have my shop. See, if I didn't live in a cold climate, all my reloading shit would be out in the shop. But I don't like to heat it during the winter. I have my bikes out there, and I have a nice little work area out there. I'll cast bullets out there, but obviously I don't want that in the house. But if I lived in a warmer climate, I would have all my reloading shit out there. Probably my gun shit too. It'd be way nicer. But Wisconsin gets cold as fuck, you know, for about half the year. And I have a heater out there. I got a nice heater, but I don't generally turn it on unless I'm out there working on bikes. And in that case, I'll keep it about 45, 50. But you know, most of the stuff would be fine, but like my digital scale and shit, I wouldn't want to leave out there. And being in the house, I probably spend more time because I can come down here for 20 minutes or whatever. Versus, and it's just walking outside, but. Yeah, Florida doesn't really have basements, do they? Yes, there's a lot of places that don't. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with like brass from HKs. You know, the MP5s and stuff. You can kind of, I don't know if you can see them. Don't look like you can. But there's actually, oh, there you can kind of see it. You can see the black marks in them that are running vertically. They have fluted chambers. So after you shoot the cartridge in an H&K, not the pistols, but like the MP5s or the MP5 clones, you actually destroy the brass. This looks like a piece that I had already sized and reused because I don't feel the ridges. I can see them, but I don't feel them. So we'll see if it sizes out. And because I know that one may be an issue, I'll check in a case gauge and it passes. That's the only bad thing about like the MP5 clones is it chews up the brass. So somewhere up here is hot. We go from 30 degrees to, 80 degrees, which may not seem like much, but we're running tropical weather just like you guys, with 70, 80% humidity. So it's, 80 degrees feels like 110 or something. And because it's so humid, you don't get to sweat and get anything off. Gonna grill some brats out later, Oh, dude, I don't know where you are, but if you're in Wisconsin, that's like what we do. What kind of grill you have? Because I'll tell you a better way of grilling them. My favorite way to grill a brat is this. I'll go get a big can of beer. I don't drink beer, so I just get a big bottle or a big can, and you take the brats because you got to buy the Johnsonville brats. You put them in there. You dump all the beer in, 0 water. You bring it to a low simmer with an onion cut up in there, and you let them simmer for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then I take them, I put them on the grill, and I have a smoking grill, so I put them off to the side, and I'll smoke them for about a half hour, 40 minutes. I'm telling you what, it's the best way to make a brat. But all right, man, you have a good day too. Double tap the screen, throw a like on the video. Cooking a brat in the state of Wisconsin is like a religion. There's a bunch of ways to make them, and obviously a bunch of kinds, but if you're not eating a Johnsonville brat in the state of Wisconsin, you're gonna get shit from people. Double tap the screen. Don't hit the heart and the little 100 and stuff. That doesn't count for a like. You gotta actually like tap, 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 tap. on the screen itself. My son bought me this last year a great big industrial smoker. I don't know why he bought something so big, but he did. I want to use that. I mean, you could literally cook like probably 8 briskets in this thing. He bought me that. And it was expensive. And then, I think he gave me probably 100 pounds worth of wood chips at least, or the smoking chips. And that's great if you're gonna do big stuff, you know. But to do like brats on that, unless I'm feeding like 60 people, that's a little overkill. But he has a similar mentality to me. If you're gonna do something, go big, go home. But the cool thing is he likes it, and he'll come over and cook on it. He's a phenomenal cook, so. Oh, what's up, buddy? What's up, big boy? You got bad breath. Go away. All right, I pet you. Go. Go. Got stuff to do. What? What? You all full of dog hairs? Dogs, of course, are shedding pretty bad. Just another example why I like to deep prime. It's going to be hard to see, but the brass is actually bulging pretty good. You can maybe see the wrinkles in it down here. So it even passes the case gauge without being sized. But that definitely doesn't want to get reloaded. That'd be bad. I would expect that to be at or right close to failure. Leo, how are you doing? Yeah, my buddy, man. I love that dog. He's 10 now. He's the coolest dog you'd ever have. So, John, when you went shooting today, what did you take with you? You ate your dog? Well, it's all right, man. I eat cats once in a while. My wife loves it. So what do you think we should shoot tomorrow? Should I shoot my daughter's shadow system? Should I shoot a SPO1 competition? Should we shoot that MP5 clone? Or should I shoot my Glock? Or a Beretta. We could shoot a Beretta too. I'm kind of torn between my SPO1 and my daughter's gun. I'd really like to spend a match with her gun, the SPO1. There it is. It's a good choice. That's actually what I bought that gun for. I mean, oh God, don't. Oh, all right. You talked me into it. I'll be honest. The more I play with her shadow systems, I really like that gun. Now consider, right? Some of the handguns I own and stuff, they're nice. I won't say so far that there's anything about that gun that I don't like. It's a good shooting gun. It's got a good natural point of aim. It's been reliable. The trigger, I mean, the trigger could use some work, but I'm leaving that alone. But it works. I mean, it came in when we brought it home. It was a 4-pound trigger, and now it's breaking about 3.5 pounds. So that's a good start. But that's a little over 3,000 rounds. I think we're at like almost 3,200, maybe 31 something. I would have to look, but sometimes I don't get an exact number. But it's about 3,100 rounds, 3,200 rounds, and the trigger's lightened up about a half pound, so it should get a little bit better. I would absolutely, and probably will at some point, consider getting another one. But I have that Zev Hypercomp I'm paying on right now. I have that Zev Hypercomp, and I have that Kimber Y2K. I usually don't like paying on more than one gun at a time, but I mentioned them both to the guy at the shop, and next time I went in there, he said, "Hey, I got them both." I'm like, well, fuck. I generally won't go in and pay for a gun outright all at once. There's times I do, like when I bought my Shadow, when I bought the Barrett, the Checkmates. I'd say probably about 50% of the time I'll pay for something all at once, and then the other part of the time I'll pay for it on layaway. The layaway encourages me to work more overtime, and that's the money I use for that. I know some people, they don't like layaway. For me, it honestly probably cost me triple the amount, only because while I'm in there paying shit off, I'm seeing other stuff I want. But that's why I tell people when they're like, "Man, you got a lot of stuff." Hey man, you don't have to come up with thousands of dollars and go buy a nice gun. Find a shop you can deal with and make a payment on it, man. You know, you're not going to take a $4,000 gun or $5,000 gun and give them $20 every 2 weeks. But you can take that $1,200 pistol and give them $25 a check. You know what I mean? And in the end, you end up with a nice pistol that, you know, if you hadn't done it that way, you may not be able to have gotten it. Or, you know, some people do I will put money in an envelope, or I'll save it in an account until I have enough. Mike, how are you doing, sir? I saw your comments the other day. I appreciate you commenting. For me, when I put money in a savings account, I tend to leave it there. I don't like to pull money out of an account to necessarily go and buy a firearm. That's the money I need in case something happens, right? Something happens with the car, or we want to go on a trip or something. Yeah, man, buying good condition used guns is always a good thing. And I'm not opposed to that. I mean, the last used gun I bought was my Daniel Defense. So the gun, I mean, the Daniel Defenses are what, they're $2,200 new. And it had that hammer, that Leupold hammer optic, which is a $1,200 optic. The gun was new, and it had a bipod, it had a sling, different foregrip, had 2 different butt stocks, 2 different pistol grips. It was a COVID buy. Somebody bought it during COVID, so they paid premium dollar for everything, and they never even fired the gun. I bought the gun out the door with, you know, the $1,200 optic with probably another $300 worth of shit, and I paid fucking $1,500 for the gun. To me, I didn't honestly even want to buy the gun, but I really wanted the optic, and they wouldn't sell me just the optic. So I paid for the optic, and I got the gun. So there's deals to be had, and that's a good reason to develop a relationship with these small shops. Put something cheap on layaway, stop in there, talk to them, and a lot of times they'll call you, be like, "Hey man, we got this in, or we got that in." You know, for the guys that are looking for like the Walther PDP steel frames, well, you're in there talking to them, you just keep mentioning, "Hey, I'm looking for this gun," and they'll start putting flyers out to people. "Hey, you know, call the distributors. When you guys get one in, can you send it over, or at least contact us?" You know, and in situations like that, you're like, "Oh fuck, I don't have the money." Well, then you throw them, you know, $50 a check, $25 a check, and you got the gun. So sometimes that's good options. Used guns and layaway. Sometimes you can find good deals at pawn shops, but generally stuff I've seen at pawn shops is usually a little overpriced, and it's usually beat up. But there's deals to be found. The police trading guns is always a smoking option. Oh, I got different emojis. I got my laptop in front of me so I can read the comments. But on Mike, you're on the screen, you got the salute, and then on my laptop it shows up a frowny face. So I had to double look. My SPO1 competition I bought, and it was $100 less than my Shadow 2, and I got it home, and I liked things about it in the store, and I got it home, and after we put rounds through it, the trigger never got any better. So I did the full Cajun package on it, the Pro package, and it lightened up the trigger some, a little bit more. Now it's like 2.5 pounds at the single action. The double action is like 5.5, 6, somewhere right in there. And then I had to add a larger right side safety for me. And then I put a Cajun bushing in it, 10x bushing to tighten up the action a little bit. And then I changed the sights to a Dawson sight, so that, that $1,300 gun or $1,200 gun, whatever it was, ended up costing me over $2,000 in parts by the time I was done, or total. I'm talking about my SPO1 competition. And I'll be honest, even with putting the parts in it, it's still not what it should be. The Shadow 2 is still probably a better gun, and it would take a lot less or virtually zero money to be as good or better. 9mm. I own a lot of stuff. Honestly, if you asked, I wouldn't be able to sit here and list it all. But I own everything from 17 HMR up to a 50 BMG. I own a 1.5 tons of different competition pistols. I have a bunch of different competition rifles. J-Dog, how are you doing? We're down to, I need about 3 hours or so for my watch hours yet. And I probably honestly have the time. I can see the time or the watch hours I got from doing the lives, but the YouTube analytics is about 4 days behind, so I don't know watch hours for shorts or videos. So like I said last night, I would probably jump on here today at some point and try to make sure I get them hours. When my son comes home later, we'll probably pop another later stream. I kind of like them. Them are usually a lot of fun. You get less people, but people are a whole lot more willing to talk openly, But J-Dog, what's big for you today? Yeah, I'll get that today. So I don't have a CZ Bren. I have pretty much all the competition CZ makes, starting with, and it's not a competition, but it starts with a CZ PCR. Then you get into the CZ Tactical. Then we get into the competition guns. I got a CZ SP01 competition. I have a Shadow 2. I have a Tactical Sport Orange. I have a Tactical Sport Orange 2 in 9mm. I have a Tactical Sport Orange 2 in 40 cal. And I have 2 CZ Checkmates. I do like the CZ Bren. I've been asking for one. I haven't been able to get a hold of one yet. I don't want the pistol version. I don't really want to do SPR paperwork. It complicates things. But every time I look, I'm in a position to buy something. The only thing available is the pistol versions. But at some point, I will have one. It's actually something that I really have a desire to buy. Yeah. The SP01, I don't think I have a lot of videos of me shooting it. Only time I really shoot it's when we shoot IDPA, and I don't shoot a lot of IDPA. I go between my Glock 17 for IDPA and then the SP01. I actually bought the SP01 for IDPA, but I still jump back and forth a little bit when I shoot that. Yeah, I haven't checked any of your stuff out today. I will at some point later, probably around supper time. I'll get this shit cranked out. If my wife is home, I'll send her for some hardware and we'll set up that new Lee press that Lee sent me. If she's not, I'll crank them out on this old press. Yeah, man, I appreciate it, Jordan. You're more than welcome to subscribe, and if you're looking for other channels, there's pretty much most of the other people in the chat here are all content creators. They all have some really good videos. Yeah, my shorts don't get a lot of views. They've been down for quite a while, but that's YouTube playing games. I mean, if you're curious, go in my channel and look at the shorts. Just go down from most recent down, and you'll see a huge difference in videos. And the videos that even don't get very many views, they're not bad videos. They're just YouTube plays games. So the long form videos, we'll start focusing on that now. I can't promise they'll be good videos, but we'll be focusing on them. The whole purpose was I didn't want to do a bunch of long form videos. I don't want to say for nothing, but kind of for nothing. You know, if I do long form videos, I'd like to sell ad space in them. Maybe people will be interested, maybe they won't, but it has a financial incentive to do that type of content. Shorts are great for getting subscribers. It seems like as your channels get bigger, they get less and less exposure. Yeah. Yes, I am. Like on the small channels, if you jump on the sound trends or the sound things that are popular, like all of a sudden you're watching YouTube and you'll start seeing all these videos about like the Taco Bell or any number of other popular sound trends. If you do a short with that sound clip, really, it's usually good for getting a bunch of views and subscribers. For a long time too, my shorts, for 3-4 days they wouldn't do anything, and then after like 3 or 4 days, especially if I didn't post anything else, they would push it into the algorithms, and then all of a sudden the video would go from like here straight up, and that would usually last for about a week. But they haven't even been doing that. I'm just depriming 9mm brass. So that's one right there. I was talking about the military crimp. That's got a military crimp in it. That would absolutely, in the progressive press, that would lock up the press. The primer would go in about halfway, and it would foobar it. So that right there is why I like to deprime on a single stage. It's more time consuming, but in the end it creates less problems. If I sorted the brass and separated, I could do it that way too. But if I'm going to handle the brass, I can handle it this way too and accomplish something. This is going to be just 9mm minor. That's why I have to load. I have major loaded, but for IDPA, I will be shooting just a standard load. So I have ammunition loaded for my daughter. I have ammunition loaded for my son, so I don't have to load for him. But because I'm going to shoot this match, I need to load just standard ammunition. I'm in Wisconsin. Where are you at? Connecticut. Are you, this may sound stupid, but just because you're in Connecticut, are you an Eminem fan? Every time somebody tells me they're from Connecticut, I think of Eminem's skit when he did the Keith Kniff. What's the weather like in Connecticut? Right now today it's warm. It's really warm outside. It's 58 and sunny. Kim Kniff. I think it was Ken Kniff. If you're not an Eminem fan, you wouldn't like the skit, and you may even be insulted that I mentioned that. But it's funny as hell. It's basically a dude that calls Eminem and trolls him. It was a troll. So for whatever reason, whenever somebody tells me they're from Connecticut, I think about that skit because that's where that Ken Kniff was from. Oh, you know the sketch? You're not offended that I thought of it, are you? Bullseye Ben, what's up? There you go. Just chilling like a villain. Well, Jordan, you're probably in the right place because a lot of people here have a really twisted sense of humor. They seem to offend a lot of snowflakes. Ben, I saw your video of your wife shooting. That's solid that she does that with you. Have anywhere to put your Skittles? You guys, I don't know how long you guys have been on. There used to be a guy, I think he's deployed. His channel was Calv Trooper 21. When I first started my YouTube channel, I talked with him a lot. And I'm trying to think, about a year and a half ago, he was talking to me one time. He said, hey, he's got to hold off on making content. He was going to be getting deployed. And I was actually thinking about him the other day, so I went to find his channel, and I can't even find his channel. I'm just curious kind of if you guys have heard from him, or must have been a Marine, huh? So we got a good dent in a cartridge. What do you think the odds are that's going to pop out in the Foreman die? Most of it popped out. Not enough, but sometimes they'll pop right back, and that one didn't. It actually looked like, I looked on the inside of it, and it looked like it actually had a slight crack started after I sized it. Yeah, good enough for government work. We'll toss it. I wasn't sure what gun I even wanted to shoot tomorrow. I was in a toss-up between my Glock, my SP01, and the MP5 clone. But Scoot said SP01, so we'll shoot SP01. I actually want to send that out at some point here and get that optics cut. That would be a better carry optics gun than a enhanced service pistol for USPSA. So yeah, we're gonna run the SP01. Yeah, you reload, Ben, or you just buy factory ammunition? Yeah, I appreciate it, Scoot. Definitely gonna run the SP01 tomorrow. I may even lubricate the gun. Well, you can get into reloading, especially for pistol, relatively inexpensive. Something like a Lee 4000 press. I mean, they're cheap. Lee Precision, they sent me a Lee 6000 to try. I keep. I gotta get some hardware. Hey, I'm on a live, April. Do I shoot pro? I'm not a sponsored shooter anymore. No, I haven't been in over 15 years. I still shoot competitive, but I'm old, man. You can see the gray hair. I'm old, I'm fat, I'm slow. But I still shoot. I still shoot competitions. My kids, probably a big reason I still do it is I take my kids and they compete. But my main sports right now are USPSA. I shoot open division in that. I shoot IDPA. I'll generally shoot enhanced service pistol division, and then we'll shoot steel challenge, and that I'll usually mix it up between rimfire pistol, iron sights, or I'll shoot pistol caliber carbine, optic, or I'll shoot open division. No, she don't really shoot, which is okay because it's a whole lot less stress. I wonder. Let's see real quick if they have bolt hole size. The crimp bracket base slide. If I can figure out what size them bolts are real quick, I'll send her to the hardware store for me. That's for dies. Go see. Setting cases through. I don't see it offhand. I test government equipment. I have a government job. AR-45, you love it. make extra money. That could either be so dirty or so great. So I test medium and heavy tactical wheeled vehicles for Department of Defense. So pre-purchase and after retrofit processes, I test stuff. You seen lock? What do you mean? No, just most of the stuff is made by Oshkosh Defense. So JLTVs, MTVRs. We're doing the Striker upgrades. So they're putting the 105 on them. The Hammets, the PLSs, FMTV A2, 1085, 1089, 1087, whatever that way. I mean, you want the military stuff, I could give you them numbers. But I've been doing that. I actually just got my 20-year anniversary a couple months ago. I wanted to retire at 20 years, and they changed the contract, so it's no longer years of service with them, it's age based. Yeah, everything's wheeled, tactical wheeled vehicles. Your 12-year wedding anniversary. In December of this last year here, that was my 28 years wedding anniversary. I'm not sure that's an achievement or not. The job is. The wedding thing is difficult. Yeah, man. I mean, I appreciate you jumping in here. The lives are usually... I'm not the guy who gets like 10,000 people in live, so your comments just scroll so fast you can't read them. But I get a lot of really cool people, and I just sit and have a conversation. A lot of times I'll post a table. I don't line it up with different guns. I try to change it each time. So a lot of people will come in and ask about the guns, but usually we just end up having a conversation about stuff. Yeah. Even when I get a bunch of people, it's usually trolls, right? You usually get a lot of gamer kids and trolls. I try to answer their questions and stuff, but I still prefer just to interact with the people I know. What time are you thinking, Ben? I mean, the trolls are hard because sometimes, I mean, they're out of pocket. Sometimes you can take a troll when they come in just trolling, and you're able to chat with them, and they stop trolling, and they end up being a solid person, and they end up being something that in future things they come back, and I mean they're cool. So you never know how it's gonna go. At the end of the day, they help your watch hours. I don't ever set a time, so I just kind of do it when I have opportunities. Generally, I'll do lives, especially during the week. I try to start them like 3:30 Central Time, and then I try to end usually by about 5:30. On the weekend lives like this, they may be at any point during the day. It just depends on how it fits in. So, like I said, I've been working on my watch hours to get fully monetized. So, okay, I'll make sure I stop in by you later, Ben. That's another military piece of brass crimp. All right, man. I appreciate you stopping and hanging out. I appreciate you guys too. I'm sure Ben, you're seeing it, man. You'd rather have that half dozen solid people that frequent your channel than 10,000 that are just schmucks, right? Seems like when channels start getting big too, and I understand it, but they lose touch with kind of what made them do what they're doing. I mean, I'm not, I hope I never get that way. I want to stay being able to connect with the people that are watching my content. I want to be able to look at them, look at John Wick or J-Dog, and I can think about what guns they have so we can have a conversation about them. Or like I said, I look at you and say, yeah, I saw the video with you and your wife, and that means more to me than having 10,000 views or 100,000 views and not knowing who any of these people are. Yeah, I'm me, man. Good and bad. And when people piss me off, I mean, you can definitely tell who I am because I let it eat. But I don't think you, me, or anybody else has to try to be something we're not. If I connect with people, or if you connect with people, and they want to sit and spend time with you and talk or whatever, that's cool. I mean, that's the type of people I want to interact with. But you know, like I said, I got this press from Lee Precision. I have nothing vested in it. If the thing's a piece of shit, I'll say so. But it wasn't something that we reached out and said, hey, can you send this? I was doing a live, and my Dillon's broke, and so I was using a press I gave my son, and I was bitching about it the whole time. It's a Lee press, and I had a message from them later that day. I don't even know how they figured it out. I mean, I don't think they were watching my live. Maybe somebody that worked there saw it, but they saw it and they asked if I was interested in trying one of their presses. They would send it to me free of charge. And I'm like, abso-fucking-lutely. And they're in my state. They're in the state of Wisconsin. So I can't remember if they're in Richland or Hartford. Let me see if I can find their address. But I think Hartford, Wisconsin. So they're less than an hour away from me. So once we get their press set up, I will I'll obviously make a video about it. But I want to go down. We'll go down to their headquarters and we'll have a conversation with the guys at some point this summer. We have some tours set up with some other manufacturers in the state of Wisconsin. Like for instance, Henry Repeating Arms is here in the state of Wisconsin. BCM, blah blah blah. BCM is in the state of Wisconsin. Cryocean Barrels is in the state of Wisconsin. Vortex Optics is in the state of Wisconsin. And there's like 30 other major companies that are all here. So these are companies as we're growing now that I want to reach out to. And I don't want to just reach out to them in an email, which is how I've been communicating with them now. But I want to actually go meet these people in person. I want to show up on their door, take a tour of their facility, and have a chance to talk with them. I think for me, I'm old school, right? I don't want to talk to people on a phone or through an email. I want to go talk to you in person. So we've been in contact with a bunch of people, and some of it we're still working on. I should say all of it we're still working on. Finding dates is the hardest thing. Like with Henry, their global headquarters is still in, I don't know if it's Massachusetts or New York or New Jersey, but it's on the East Coast, the Northeast Coast. But all their manufacturing now is done in the state of Wisconsin. So we've been going back and forth to find times where their corporate guy will be in the state of Wisconsin, that I can go meet with them. They're They're like 4 hours away from me. They're up in northwestern Wisconsin, so I don't really want to take off midweek to go up there and then come back. I would rather go up there on a Friday, take a day off on a Friday vacation day, drive up there, do the tour, stay overnight, and then hit one of the pistol matches that's up on that side of the state. It's like killing two birds with one stone. All right, man. Edit videos. No, we're gonna shoot tomorrow, D-Dog. I'm cranking some ammo out right now. Depriming my brass. I'll run them through the auto prime. Then I'll run them. So once I get enough here to start priming, I'll probably shut off for a few minutes. I'll send my wife to the hardware store and buy me some hardware for that new press. I don't know if we'll bolt it down today or not. I don't know if anybody wants to donate a 510C. Did you shoot today? I'm going to shoot, like I just said, I'm going to shoot tomorrow. I think the requested gun for tomorrow is going to be the SP01 competition. Harley went to a birthday party, so she's not going to shoot tomorrow. Gage and I are going to go shoot. He's going to run the specialty division. So he's going to run his Tactical Sport Orange with Iron Dot just to get the practice. I thought about doing it with the Checkmate, but I'm going to run the SP01 instead. Oh yeah, you did say that you're not shooting tomorrow. Oh, I'm sorry, John. So yeah, I use case lube, not for pistol though, for rifle only. And I have one of three things I'll use. I have the Lyman Slick Side aerosol lube, which I'm not a real big fan of. It doesn't work great. I'll tend to get stuck casings with that sometimes. The RCBS dye, that's the stuff you put on, or lube, sorry. That's the stuff you put on the pad. You roll the brass, then hit it with a brush on the inside of the neck. The stuff I've been using a lot, and I actually kind of like it. It's a little bit more of a pain in the ass to clean up afterwards, but I do like it. It's easy to use. Is the one-shot lube from Hornady. That's the stuff you put on your fingers, and as you pick up the case, you roll it a little bit, run it through the single stage. I've been using a lot of that stuff. So I'm sorry I missed your... You got them O-rings already? All right, Arizona Kid, you have a good day, man. We'll probably catch you later. You use the RCBS. Yeah, that's the RCBS pad there. I like that process. You know, that stuff it's water soluble. What I'll do is I'll lube them and size them, and then I'll actually just load the cartridge. When I'm done, I'll throw them in the tumbler for about 20 minutes, and they're clean. I don't have to do anything getting that lube off. The Hornady stuff you put on your finger, you have to use a damp rag and actually physically wipe that off. So before I run them through the press after they're sized and lubed and sized and primed, I'll go through and hand wipe them off. So that's good. That quick shipping is always nice. Any accelerators like this? No, I don't do anything like that. No, I don't do any of that. That gets kind of weird because it's hard to find data. There's a company that's called High Tech Ammunition. They used to sell I don't even know if the company's still around anymore, but they used to sell powder It was all military surplus pull down powder, and they'd sell brass, and they used to sell them sables to do exactly that, to take a 223 projectile and either put it in a 308 or in a 30-06 case. But I never tried any of that. I stutter button today. I did think about it heavily, but I guess I never really had anything to do with it. I mean, it'd be kind of cool to punch holes and stuff, but I have other things for punching holes. You said you used the RCBS pad. Do you use the RCBS lube too? That stuff lasts forever, man. I'm probably down to a quarter bottle of that stuff, and I've had that bottle for probably 15 years. So it doesn't take much at all when you use that. I honestly think that's probably the easier case lube to use. The spray, a lot of people like that spray, and more times than not, I end up getting stuck casings with it. And it's not like, I mean, you're taking your brass and you're spraying it, but I think what it is you don't get anything inside the neck, so it catches on the die. And you know what a pain in the dick it is then to have to remove a stuck case. I'd rather have a stuck case than a broken decapping pin, because I'm almost out of them. But it's still an inconvenience. It still takes a minute, and it's a pain in the ass. Oh, I should have noticed the length on that when I grabbed it. But I looked to make sure it wasn't Berdan primed, because it's nickel case, but it's a 380. It's a 380 mixed in with a 9mm. All right, Ben, I'll catch you later, man. Go take care of that family. Yeah, this stuff lasts forever. I mean, I think when I put it on the pad, a couple strips on the pad, rub it in, and I'll do, 5, 6, 7, 800 pieces of brass and never re-lube it. Obviously, the next time I go to use it, I'll lube it, but stuff lasts forever. My buddy who taught me how to reload, that was one of the last things he was telling me about, was that that case lube you rub on your fingers. He really liked it. I don't dislike it. It's easy to use, but there's good with the bad. It does have an anti-tarnish in there, so like the RCBS lube I'll throw in the press with just corn media and new finish wax, so it leaves a good shine to it, and it preserves the brass. But that stuff, you don't have to do that afterwards, because there's that anti-tarnish right in the material, so you wipe it off, but the brass stays looking brand new. Carbide dies are definitely better. I have both. I have some Hornady pistol dies. I have Dillon dies, obviously. I have some Lee dies, all for 9mm. For rifle dies, I always use the carbide dies. they last longer. Like I've said before, reloading's a whole nother hobby in itself. You know, you have shooters that reload to be able to shoot more or get better ammunition. Then you have the guys who go shooting just so they have something to reload. I like to work up loads and do load development, test guns, especially on a new gun, right? Figure out what absolutely that gun loves. And then usually not even go back to that load ever because it's a pain in the dick. All right, D-Dog. Ammo. I'm taking a play out of your book today. We're just working on some 9mm. I have the press from Lee sitting behind me on the floor. I gotta probably send my wife to go get me some hardware so I can mount it up. But I'm gonna shoot tomorrow. So I always, like I tell you all the time, I always deprime on a single stage press, deprime in size. Then I'll hand prime them, then run them through a progressive. But I'm gonna shoot a pistol match tomorrow. Nope, tomorrow's gonna be 9mm minor, just 9mm standard. So that's why I got to load. My son has ammo. I don't have to load for him. I did that about 3 weeks ago. Because tomorrow is an IDPA match. Tomorrow's firearm will be an SPO1 competition. So I need to load ammunition so I can shoot that match. I was gonna run, so IDPA rules are a little different than USPSA. My checkmate and stuff isn't legal, but a lot of times they'll let you do what's called a specialty division, which is guns and equipment that aren't legal for the actual match. Then you just go out and play. I was gonna do that, but we're not. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. You didn't finish that yesterday? How much longer are you gonna be down there? Desk Pop, I don't think I'm familiar with your channel. I think probably the first time I've seen you. I could be wrong. Let's see if it pulls up. I'm gonna try to pull up your channel. He's the guy with the skinny jeans. Oh, all right. Yeah. We've talked before. Now I know your channel. I've seen it. I just subscribed from my B channel. I don't know for sure if I'm subscribed from my main channel or not, but I'm subscribed to you now on the B channel. If you want to go on my main channel, leave a comment in a short so I can find your channel easier, I will. Otherwise, when I have time, I'll come back from this channel and I'll make sure I subscribe. I'm going to shoot a pistol match tomorrow. So I have to load ammunition to be able to shoot that match. So distinguished Godfather, how are you going? We meet again. You got 100 subs last night? Was that... So I went on it. You just had your gun wall showing. You didn't really have anything there. But what kind of competitions are you shooting in Washington? I mean, you should have USPSA and IDPA at least, right? So Emma, did you say how ASI and USPSA? What division you shoot in USPSA? What gun do you use? Not that channel, this one. Huh. At 2.0 for matches. Carry optics use USPSA with the platypus. Is the platypus legal for carry optics? Wouldn't that be a limited division gun? Saltines and pedalite for breakfast. Free reborn good. Man, my stomach's been hurting since we had that Domino's last night. That was a mistake. Yeah, but the platypus is a single action only firearm, right? It's 2011. Yeah, that can get pricey quick. Especially if you're buying factory ammunition. That tacticalshit.com usually has some pretty good buys on cheap plates. Problem with cheap plates is they're all steel. They may or may not have that Spalding protection, but I mean, they'll save your life. All right, man. I appreciate it, John. Ammo this morning. I was at about 3 hours left to go. I don't know. You know, obviously, YouTube's always like 4 or 5 days behind. 5,000 words is more than you know in English. I missed something there. Yeah, if you can learn 5,000 words in English, you'd be pretty set. free armor. Use the big gummy bears. That stuff's supposed to be damn near pretty bulletproof. I'm not familiar with the Derringers, but I would use caution because of the way they lock up. I think I have enough brass deprimed, so we'll load some primers and see if I have enough or not. Let me see if this is even the right one. It is. Cool. So we'll run the foreign primers because they're cheap. I also found one of your old vids where you were saying the guns were not the same guns, and it made me cry. What do you... I'm not sure. Me or someone else? Oh, that Derringer type gun? Yeah. Well, even like them guys have them in 45-70, and I'll be honest, man, you gotta have some big fucking balls to be shooting a 45-70 in a Derringer platform. Not only do you have to have some big balls, but you have to be a glutton for, or a glutton for punishment. What they call a sadomasochist or something. Sadist. Jaylee, what's going on? Yeah, they're supposed to be easy to suppress. Oh. That's why I was confused. I wasn't sure. Stifler, how are you doing? Yeah, my taxes are all there. I'm still waiting on my state refund, but the federal one's back. Accept it. Oh. M70 is a cool gun, but practicality purposes, the 308's probably, if you don't have one, would probably be a tool versus just a toy. By all Tauruses. You should become the first live-in High Point historian. Just go all High Point, all in, man. How many different High Point models are there? Or how many? I don't even know if you could call them generations. It's just like, I think High Point's more of the chick with cerebral palsy that decides to start wearing makeup. High Point education. You know, I'll shit on High Point, but if somebody really needed a gun and that was all they had the money for, it's better than no gun. And I would definitely take a High Point over a PSA. Oh, come on. Another military crimp piece of brass that would lock up the progressive press. Again, that's why I load on this, or do my work on a single stage and then go into the progressive. Yeah, I'll take a High Point over a stick anytime. I would honestly rather have a High Point than a Taurus. No, you gotta fucking, oh boy. I think you told that story already. I'm pretty sure you've told us that story already, Jay Lee. Yeah, I mean, you say what you want. I mean, I can say what I want about High Point, but if the person has a good stiff wrist, they usually work. I mean, if they don't work, you definitely have something to beat somebody to death with. But they work. I can't always say that about a Tauruses. They don't always work, but most of the time. So at the beginning of this, without knowing what the shorts and videos were doing, I was 3 hours away. Yeah, you're saying that orange smoke because of the pop metal they use in them. Honestly, I would probably take the SIG over a High Point. So don't record that and play it back later, because the SIG, you might shoot yourself with a SIG, but it's still a SIG, you know. Yeah. And I'll be honest, me saying that is kind of painful too. I don't know why it should be painful. I think it's more the fact that I don't even dislike SIGs, right? I dislike their management is what I really have a problem with. And I know other people may or may not, but for me, them shitting on our law enforcement or our military personnel, that's bogus as fuck. Some dude in the hood wants to shoot himself with a SIG. I'm not going to cry about it. Some dad who's carrying a gun to protect himself, that happens to. That's a problem. Fucking dildo launcher. So that can launcher I have, I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. If you want to find a good video, look up can launcher slash dildo launcher. I'm not sure if the video is still on YouTube, but there's a guy, they're fucking launching dildos out of a can launcher, and they're lubing them. I mean, they're lubing them and they're shooting them at people and shit. So, and it's not like the little dildo you'd buy for your wife. It's the one you'd fucking take to a porn shoot. You know, the fucking 18-incher that's 6 inches round. Makes for a good video. There's also, I think, the same guy, he does a can launching video with the rubber fists. I'm pretty sure he's still on YouTube. Maybe if I remember, I'll look for it later and maybe green screen something. But yeah, if you guys want a good laugh, just look up can launcher, dildo launcher. You should be able to find it. What do I mean? Do I want to roast your website, John Doe? What kind of content do you post? Yeah, killing them with love. The only way I'm going to check out your channel is you have to go in one of my videos or my shorts and leave me a comment so I can find it. I don't really have a way to pull your channel up per se while I'm on a live. Propane accessories. What kind of firearms? Nothing on his channel. Yeah, block them. Just because it's stupid. You can't say you want to be friends when your very first act is nothing but a lie and bullshit. So, not only, let's see. I won't permanently block him. We'll leave it at timeout. I'm not into people that lie and bullshit. So if that's what you're looking to do, then you kind of hit the wrong people for that. That dude's not selling anything. He's just trolling, man. The name should have been a dead giveaway. So, like I said, you can't say, hey, I want to hang out or I want to talk, but you're going to start the very first conversation with lies. They're weird about all that stuff now on eBay. I remember for a long time, like for lower parts kits and shit, eBay was the place to get the stuff. Fuck, you could even buy the P80 frames and stuff. Assault weapon, yeah. Dick, what's going on? Got your back. I'm sick of bullshit. Yeah. I'm just priming brass right now. I'm gonna shoot a pistol match tomorrow, so I needed some standard 9mm ammunition. I always deprime and size on a single stage, and then I'll run it through a progressive press. It's time consuming, but I have less problems that way. Unless it's new brass, then it's faster to just run on a progressive. But yeah, I don't know what Colorado's thinking. They're on some bullshit. I don't even know how, and it's not going to hold up. It's going to be like everything else. But they want to cost people money. They know it's like a spoiled little kid, you know. They know it's not legal. They're going to do it anyway to fuck with people, and it's going to cost a lot of people a lot of money to fight that. I think the truth of it is these politicians that are voting for it, they should be called out for what they are. They're traitors. You know, they swore an oath when they were elected and sworn in to uphold the Constitution, to follow it, not to disobey it and create a communist state because it's convenient for them. You know, the one thing that bothers me with politicians is they're supposed to be a representative. Our modern politicians, they call them lawmakers, right? Lawmakers. America was formed in 1776. I mean, this is 2025. Are you telling me after all these years that we still need people full-time, 24/7, creating new laws? Isn't there enough laws? I mean, there's laws for laws for laws for laws, you know? How many, or when's the last time you've heard anything political where these guys are passing laws that actually significantly improve anybody's life, you know? Yeah, well, I think a lot of them were traitors before they swore an oath. But personally, for me, I would love nothing more than to see them all get hung in the Capitol. Traitor's a traitor, and that's the penalty for being a traitor to the country is death. Hang the fuckers high. Like I said, you swore an oath. It's like they're being a spy, right? They lie and connive and sneak in under the radar, and then they come out. They're exposed. They're traitors. They're treason. You know. They're working for, you know, shyster shit. Sold on Edgy. I'm not familiar with that. Oh, eBay. I buy a lot of stuff off eBay for like solvents and grease and stuff, or patches. I can usually get it for the same money that I would get it for if I went to the store, but I would have to actually leave and go to the store versus I buy it off there and a couple days later it shows up on the step. So unless I need stuff right now, a lot of times I'll just buy shit off eBay. Or 15,000 feedbacks. All as a seller, right? I think I probably have close to that, but all as a purchaser. All positive, right on. It's actually a pretty big accomplishment there. these foreign primers, you got to get them perfectly centered or they don't go in there. I could probably measure them and look to see if they're oversized, but they're tight definitely in the primer pocket. What's going on, Zons? Brandon, how are you doing? You guys double tap that like screen for me. But welcome. What's big for your Saturday? Mine's all right. My kids had karate this morning. My daughter's going to a birthday party. My middle son is helping his older brother work on his Camaro. He's trying to get that ready for a car show here in 2 months. So I got to crank out a couple hundred pistol rounds so I can shoot tomorrow. Other than that, it's just going to be a chill day. Yeah, man. My middle son's a 2nd degree black belt and my daughter's a 1st degree. So my middle son's 15. So 15 years old and a 2nd degree black belt, to me is pretty impressive. And then you look at my daughter, who's 11 and a 1st degree black belt. When are we all heading to the range again? Are you asking when you can come with me or when am I going shooting? Tomorrow we'll be shooting that pistol match. But if you want to come shoot with me, you got to come to Wisconsin. You want to come to Wisconsin, we go shoot whenever you want. It's peaceful. It's chilled, you know. So that's my first 100. I need another 100 to have enough for the match tomorrow. And I have plenty of brass deprimed. So I come sit down here. You notice the wife's not bothering me. The kids aren't bothering me and shit. They don't. They leave me alone when I'm down here. And they should, because you're dealing with things that if you get it wrong, I mean, you could hurt yourself or someone else. Ammo too, when you watch him reload, he sits there and he's calmed and chilled. I think that's one thing that people like when they get into reloading, is unless you're in a big hurry to get it done for a reason, it's kind of like tying flies. You just kind of in the process, you know. You're looking forward to getting your ammunition loaded so you can go shoot. So it's a benefit there. My dog's gonna come bother me. He'll come right over here and start nudging my arm. Guaranteed. Here comes, see? There he is. What's up, Fugar? Come over and be like, hey. And now he's gonna go walk away and just go chill. Just come down and be like, hey, I'm still here. What are you doing? And now, because he came down to check on me, the puppy will probably do it within a minute or two. Yeah. What did you guys go and do? Stuck in Georgia. I have a lot of NFA items. I want people to ask permission to. Yeah, I hear you. That's why I have some. But that's why stuff, I mean, you hear me talk like pistol caliber carbines and stuff. Am I leaving the state with my daughter to go shoot it right now? No. But at some point, probably, in the past, you know, stuff like that I've taken out of state. It's a pain in the ass, man. You know, it's not a big deal to be in your state with it, but when you start transporting over state lines, there's a lot of bullshit that goes along with that if you do it legally. You know, there's a lot of phone calls and emails. And D-Dog, how's the chicken? I think when we set up this other press from Lee, D-Dog, maybe I'll have Gage videotape it so I can show you how to set up dies. The basic setting up the dies will be the same in a progressive press or a turret press or a single stage press. So maybe that'll help you out when you're ready. Hit the candy store, grab lunch, went to look for new couches, chair, new furniture. Oh, dude, it's a fucking scam and a half. What do you mean it smells funny, D-Dog? Cabbage. We got a bunch of shooters in here that'll all have great things to add, but what kind of animal are you trying to hunt, and maybe in what part of the country? But we'll let the guys in the comments take over. They'll all have great suggestions. I would say too, one thing I'm gonna ask is, are you a big person? Are you a little person? I assume you're probably a boy. We usually only get boys, but male or female, that'll kind of dictate into what people are going to suggest too. Smells like ammonia. Uh-oh. That's kind of weird. Yeah, that's not good. Hey, April. Yeah? You got to drop Harley off? No. All right. What are we doing for food? Subway? Chicken teriyaki, mayo, bacon, banana peppers, jalapenos, pickles, lettuce. Need to throw the fish outside. Yeah, if it smells bad, I probably wouldn't go back. How long have they been open? Maybe the chemicals you're smelling is just from them cleaning, which would still, I mean, you're still not going to want to eat it, but. Lutefisk. Huh. Well, I would say it's probably not new equipment then you're tasting or smelling. It's Scoot taking off. Did I miss him? Oh, all right, man. Yeah, it popped up there. All right, Scoot. You have a good day, man. I hope you get to do something fun. Thanks for stopping in and hanging out. I appreciate you taking the time to do so. I'll post footage of that SPO1 tomorrow. So hopefully I have a good match and it runs good. It'll run. It's just easy. Gage is pretty good at doing camera work, so he usually gets some pretty good footage. Yeah, it should be a good time. I like shooting. IDPA is definitely not my favorite thing to shoot, especially in the spring of the year here. I need to get out and get some rounds downrange. Yeah, so you got your daughter, huh? Bye. Just think about it, though. It won't be long, and they'll be getting them done together. Orange smoke, though. You still got time. It's daylight. Go do some shooting. You're making excuses, man. We all know if you wait for the perfect days, it doesn't happen. Take your son. Go grab the rifles. Grab some ammunition. Take the pistol. Let him shoot some pistol rounds too. I would rather you come back later, or I talk to you tomorrow or something, and you'd be like, yeah, we had a good day, than sit here and hang out with me. All right, Godfather, I appreciate you, man. You have a here. I don't know. We'll do that for you. Should have did that already. We'll make you a moderator, so when you come back, you can check out other guys' channels. D-Dog, what are you up to now for subscribers? Hanging out with his buddy. That's all right. I should have did that already. I forget to do that. So D-Dog, what should I make for a load tomorrow? Should I make a gamer load, like a 120 power factor, or should I actually play by the rules? John, don't even sweat it, man. They come and they go. Usually if you lose 2, you'll pick up 4. Everybody watches the subscriber numbers, and it's always like a little bit of a pain. Like you take it personally when they go away, but don't even let it bother you. Wasn't letting your suppressed Glock go back in the battery. Yeah, most of that aluminum ammunition is on the weak side. So if you're shooting with a can, you definitely there's times your stuff will sit there and not go anywhere, and then there's times where all of a sudden one video or something, or even if you're not posting videos, you'll get subscribers. You kind of have to not care. We all do. I mean, there's nothing cooler than going in your videos and finding like 10 or 15 or 30 or 100 comments to reply to, and then you look at your subscribers and you pick up all kinds of subscribers, but it doesn't happen. Do lives. Do some lives in your gun room. You'll pick up a bunch of subscribers. YDC Guns, how are you doing? What's big for you for the day? We'll make you a mod right away too. That way, if you want to check out anybody's channels in the chat, you're more than welcome to. I sent him a picture last weekend. I was in bed and I was on Patriot Arms. I mean, I was trying to fall asleep. And he's like, I thought you were in bed. And I was. So I sent him a picture of me in bed. And then Ammo asked what I was talking about. So then I sent, or not Ammo, Patriot asked what I was talking about. So I sent him a picture too. You guys want to make things weird. That made it weird real quick. Yeah. I mean, I think my thumb's probably bigger. Years ago, the first time my wife and I were gonna have sex, I was all happy, all horny, man. I'm like, man, it's gonna finally fucking happen. I dropped my pants, fucking pulled my cock out, standing there in all my glory. And she looks down and chuckles and says, "Who are you gonna please with that?" And I looked at her in a straight face, like, me. Getting the extension for the P17. How big of an extension? Yeah. I'm in it for me, man. I mean, they're just kind of along for the ride. If they can make the best of it, more power to them. But don't let me get in the way of their happiness. $16 rounds. That's pretty good extension. Yeah, they all talk like they want more than 3 inches, and they're not fooling me. There you go. That's a good present. Here's the 16. I was trying to remember that last night. I knew it was coming up. That was one of the things we were talking about when you were napping. Yeah, that's dumb. You'll probably end up getting delayed on the 4473 too. No, nobody called you old. Oh, actually, I think we probably did, to be honest. I think we referred to you as our wise and seasoned expert. So that's my 200. I'm going to say there's probably another 100 in there, which should be perfect. I like loading more than I need. Oh. Them are partially open. So these foreign primers I bought, I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, tacticalshit.com. But they were selling them a couple months ago. It was, what were they, $36 for 1,000 shipped. So I bought a whole shitload of them. Not the best primers for major, but they work good for minor. They're on the harder side, so like for my daughter, I still use Federal, but for the hammer fired guns, these work just fine. I think, where are they from here? Oh, they're from Argentina. So $36 for 1,000. I thought that was a pretty good buy. I've used them before, several times. The last sale I had, because that was free shipping, they didn't even include, they weren't even charging you for the hazmat fee. I saw they had them on sale again a couple weeks ago, but they were charging for a hazmat fee that time. So $36 for 1,000, and if you had to pay a hazmat fee on them, it's $20 for the order. So I think I ordered 6,000 that time, and another 6 the time before. So it's a good start here. We'll get into the season anyway. 3 different hubs I missed. Oh, for the can. Like the old Pawn Stars. Yeah. What's for supper tonight? Orange smoke. That guy talking about grilling brats earlier looked good. What video? Yeah. If you're over cleaning your guns, man, knock it off. You'd be surprised how quick you'll actually cause wear in a barrel and stuff by brushing them out and all that. Firearms are easy to clean more times than not, especially if you're using grease. If you're not using grease, Jay Lee, look, if you're not using Shooter's Choice, buy some and try it. If it's not probably the best product you've used, then you can absolutely come on here and tell me I'm full of shit, and I look forward to it. The stuff's good. Yeah, quit using oil. Try Shooter's Choice. Just try it. The shit's cheap. Just try it. Look up YouTube. Louis Vuitton board game. Use motor oil. Well, David, my day is going good, man. Just chilling, priming some brass. What's going on in Ireland? How's the weather? Yeah, quit using the Lucas Extreme shit, man. There's way better stuff out there. Fuba, how are you doing? What's big with you? I assume, so I saw your video where you're talking about the faggots. I assume when you asked me if I love them, that's what you were referring to and not the firearms. Your firearms I absolutely love. They're cool shit. The other part, I could probably pass on that. Yeah, man. You guys check out that Shooter's Choice. It's a way, way, way better product. Way, way better product. It's like night and day difference. Especially when it comes time to cleaning them. It just wipes right out. I have Lucas. I can show you if you want. But I've used it. I've experimented with it. Like the college days, you just got to give it a good try, right? But Shooter's Choice is better. With peas and mashed potatoes. We had 2 weeks of sunshine, now back to rain. What's the daily temp? And get their stuff pretty cheap. What's big with you today, Fuba? That is how you say your name, right? I'm not saying it wrong. I mean, that's, I think, how you say it is F-U-B-B-A, Fuba. You guys are gonna, Jaylee, be nice. Dude, I use it for almost every firearm. With my M1A and my Barrett, I use a lubricate because I literally have like a small butter-sized container of it. But in all my pistols and stuff, I use Shooter's Choice. It's a absolutely incredible lube. I don't know what that means, the U with the... If I'm saying it wrong, in one of your videos, actually say it out loud so I can pronounce it. Not Foba. Fubia? Faba. Huh? Faba? It's Faba? There you go. I got it. I just cleaned my 1911 for the first time. If your 1911 is stainless, Shooter's Choice will work in it. But what I use in stainless 1911 specifically, it's called a Riggs Plus P, and it's a stainless steel lubricant. That works a little better on stainless steel guns versus the Shooter's Choice, but Shooter's Choice still works phenomenal in them. I've never used breakthrough grease, so I can't tell you on that. The Lucas gun oil, or the gun grease, I mean, you guys look at your guns, do you see wear in them? I can tell you when I've used them, I see wear. Yeah, Armalite are good rifles. All I'm saying is, and I'll say it over and over, it's, the stuff's not expensive, so just try it. I'm clearly not sponsored by anybody other than my own pocket. So I've used it. I used to use it in customer guns. I use it in most of my guns, with the exception, like I said, the Barrett, the M1A, and the stainless 1911s. I've tried other stuff here and there just to try it, and I always come back to the same product. But just like motor oil in a car, you know, it may be snake oil, maybe because I want to like it, or I've used it for so long, maybe I'm biased. What brand 1911 is it? Did the Reaper Pepper? Death Nut Challenge. It just, you've had such good success with your Charger 25 round mags, no feeding or jamming issues after 1,000. The Ruger 1022 style firearms is, I mean, it's a proven platform. Have you ever tried the triple nickel? I don't know if that's something referenced to me. Nickel plated brass. I'm not sure what you mean by triple nickel. No, I'm not familiar with it. I assume you're shooting a nickel with a firearm, huh? Death Peanut's hottest thing I ever tried. PSA has deals every week. But yeah, everybody has deals for holidays. That's a thing. I think the only place I've dealt with that stopped doing deals on holidays is Lock Grips, and that's legitimately because they can't keep up, which again is a good problem to have. at some point in less than 5 seconds. Two rounds each, so 12 rounds. 12 rounds with the reload in under 5 seconds. That's how far are the targets? And what kind of gun are we talking? Are we talking just standard 9mm, or are we talking 22s? Because I can promise you in my race gun, I'm not doing that challenge and beating it. Prime and 9mm. Definitely gonna buy some. Tried at buddy's house. Burned your face. Holy fuck. Hey, if you guys haven't obviously subscribed to everybody in the channel or the comments, but if you're not subscribed to D-Dog Tactical, jump on his channel, give him some subscribes. Be cool if we get him up to 1,000. I'm pretty sure most everybody in here is probably subscribed to him, but it'd be cool to help him get up there. Obviously, everybody else too. Support one another. That's what makes the community great. Stick it to YouTube and all the anti-gunners and let it bring people together. I mean, we know that there's nothing anti-gunners hate more than seeing a bunch of people have fun shooting guns. So that's my 300. I still have some in there. So I'm gonna go. I want to find something to eat. I asked my wife to go get Subway, and she's still here, so I guess she ain't going to get Subway. But gentlemen, ladies, things, I appreciate you hanging out. It's a couple hours we put on this. That should put me well over my hours now to be monetized. So I'm gonna say by Wednesday or Thursday, I'll have the notification that is fully monetized. So I appreciate all you coming along on this journey and spending your time here with me. But don't sit at home all day. Get out and go do some shooting, or go buy some Shooter's Choice and load some ammunition. Create a couple videos with some feet pics and tag Jay Lee in the title, so he gets like 1,000 feet pics. Or Ammo likes feet pics too. So I absolutely appreciate you guys hanging out. I mean, I had to do this today so I can go shoot tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll shoot IDPA. We'll get some footage posted of that. So hopefully we'll check y'all later. Hector, I appreciate you coming in. I'm about to end this live. So any of you guys I haven't mentioned, I mean, you guys all know who you are. Orange Smoke John, YCD Guns, Prepared Father, John's Arsenal, John Wick, Scoot, D-Dog Tactical, all you guys, I appreciate all of you. So have a good day, stay safe, and don't sit here. Go do some shooting, all right? Jay Lee, feet picks, lots of feet picks.